Some of the most popular Looksmaxxing methods are completely useless. Not slightly ineffective, completely useless. And the worst part is that the methods that actually work are either free, ignored, or considered too extreme to talk about. This video ranks every single one. From the things you can start tonight to the things that will permanently change your face. Cold showers. Cold showers are probably the most overhyped entry on this entire list. The idea is that cold water tightens pores, improves circulation, and gives you some kind of glow. In reality, the effect on appearance is temporary at best and completely undetectable at worst. Studies on cold water immersion show benefits for muscle recovery and mood regulation, but zero measurable long-term impact on facial aesthetics. Cold showers are fine. They are just not Looksmaxxing. Facial exercises have been circulating online for years with claims that they can sculpt cheekbones, sharpen the jawline, and lift the face. The evidence does not support this. The muscles underneath facial skin are small, and their hypertrophy does not translate into visible structural change the way body muscles do. A 2018 study from Northwestern University did find modest improvement in facial fullness in middle-aged women, but the results were minor and took 20 weeks of daily effort. For anyone trying to improve their appearance, this is one of the lowest return investments possible. Skincare sits at C tier not because it doesn't work, but because most people do it wrong. The average skincare routine sold to men involves 5 to 8 products, the majority of which are unnecessary. The 3 things that actually matter are a gentle cleanser, a moisturizer with SPF, and a retinoid. That is it. Retinoids are the most scientifically backed topical ingredient in existence, proven to increase collagen production, reduce fine lines, and improve skin texture over time. Everything else is largely marketing. Get those 3 right, and your skin will look noticeably better within 60 days. Teeth. Whitening teeth are one of the first things people notice, and yellowed or stained teeth have a measurable negative effect on perceived attractiveness. Whitening works. The problem is that most people either overdo it, damaging enamel and causing sensitivity, or use products too weak to make a visible difference. The ceiling for improvement here is also relatively low. Whiter teeth will improve your smile, but they will not change your facial structure. C tier is accurate. Haircut and hairstyle. A good haircut is one of the highest return Looksmaxxing methods available, and most men are walking around with the wrong one. The reason it sits at B and not A is that the ceiling depends entirely on your face shape and head structure. A haircut that adds the right amount of volume in the right places can change how wide or long your face appears, how sharp your jawline looks, and how symmetrical your features read. The problem is that most men pick hairstyles based on what looks good on someone else rather than what suits their own proportions. Find a barber who understands face shape theory, and the difference will be visible immediately. Body composition. Losing excess body fat changes your face. This is not debatable. As body fat percentage drops, facial fat redistributes, cheekbones become more visible, the jawline sharpens, and the neck looks longer and leaner. The difference between a man at 20% body fat and the same man at 12% is often dramatic enough that people assume he has had surgery. Body composition sits at B tier rather than A because it takes time, requires sustained effort, and the ceiling is determined by your underlying bone structure. But the return on investment is enormous, and it compounds with almost every other method on this list. Sleep is where your body repairs collagen, regulates cortisol, produces growth hormone, and processes inflammation. Chronic sleep deprivation causes dark circles, puffiness, dull skin, increased water retention, and elevated cortisol, which accelerates fat storage around the face and body. 8 hours of quality sleep per night is one of the most powerful free Looksmaxxing tools available, and the vast majority of people are not getting it. The reason it is not A tier is that sleep alone will not change your structure. But without it, everything else on this list works worse. Posture. Posture affects how your face looks, and most people have never considered this connection. Forward head posture, which affects a significant portion of people who spend time at desks or on phones, pulls the jaw back and down, reduces the projection of the chin, compresses the neck, and makes the face look rounder and less defined. Correcting posture through neck, strengthening exercises, chin tucks, and spinal alignment work does not just make you look taller and more confident. Over time, it actually changes how your facial features project. This is one of the most overlooked methods on this entire list, and it is completely free. Style and grooming sit at A tier because they operate on perception rather than raw physical features, and perception is most of attraction. A well-fitted wardrobe that suits your body type, a maintained beard or clean shave, and consistent grooming habits signal health, discipline, and status simultaneously. Research on attractiveness consistently shows that grooming and presentation account for a significant portion of how people rate physical appeal, often more than facial features themselves. The ceiling here is high and the floor is low, meaning the gap between doing this badly and doing it well is enormous. Mewing. Mewing is the practice of maintaining correct tongue posture, tongue flat against the roof of the mouth, lips sealed, teeth lightly touching. In adolescents and young adults whose bones are still responsive to pressure, consistent correct tongue posture influences the forward development of the upper and lower jaw over time. The scientific literature on orthotropics supports this principle, even if the term mewing itself is informal. The results are slow, taking months to years, and the impact is greater the younger you start. It costs nothing, and the downside is zero. Orthognathic surgery. Jaw surgery is the most structurally impactful Looksmaxxing intervention that exists. It physically repositions the upper jaw, lower jaw, or both to correct skeletal imbalances, improve facial thirds, and enhance overall harmony. The results are permanent, dramatic, and in cases of genuine skeletal imbalance, sometimes covered by insurance. The risks are significant: nerve damage, long recovery, and irreversibility. It is not something to pursue casually. But in terms of raw structural impact on facial appearance, nothing on this list comes close. Rhinoplasty. The nose sits at the center of the face and has a disproportionate effect on overall facial harmony. A nose that is too wide, too long, or poorly projected throws off the balance of every other feature around it. Rhinoplasty, surgical reshaping of the nose, is the second most performed cosmetic surgery in the world for a reason. The results when done well are permanent, and the impact on facial balance is immediate and significant. Like all surgery, the risks are real, and revision rates are higher than most people expect. But the structural ceiling here is among the highest on this list. That is every major Looksmaxxing method ranked. The gap between D tier and S tier is enormous, but the most important thing to understand is that the free methods compound. Posture, mewing, sleep, and body composition done consistently over a year will outperform most paid interventions. If you found this useful, subscribe. There is a lot more coming.